Ottawa police are updating a fatal shooting last weekend. 2 people were killed from Toronto. Let's listen in.
The intended targets. Our investigation has determined that about 50 rounds were fired. It's clear that these events could have been even more devastating. We are examining video that was captured in the area and are in close communication with police services, including Toronto Police. We are asking that anyone who was in the area during this event to please come forward with any information that they may have seen or heard. You may have dash or doorbell camera or monitoring video that might be showing a car speeding off and at the time might have seemed unimportant. This could include restaurants and patios in the neighborhood that may have camera footage. We ask people to come forward with any information, but we ask everyone to keep the victims and their families in mind. We ask for any information that could help prevent any other tragic losses. We know that many people who are in attendance are not coming forward or not willing to share what they have seen. In order to shed light on this crime, we need people to help us shed light on this situation and help with the evidence we have collected. I'd like to thank the media for being here today and for keeping this tragic incident in the public eye. I would like to reassure that we are here for you and we are determined to bring those responsible to justice. We will work hard to find answers and to find those responsible for these crimes. Collaboration from the public to do so is essential. Thank you.
So we're now going to move to a question period. Alors, on va passer à la période de questions. So one at a time, please say your name and which media outlet you're with, and you'll be able to ask one question and a follow-up. Alors, veuillez nommer votre nom et qui vous représentez. Vous pourrez poser une question et une question de suivi. OK? Alors, on commence. Go for it.
Jerry from CPD Ottawa. I guess my first question, are you able to clarify whether, so 8 people were injured, 2 were killed. So out of the 6 that were injured, are you able to confirm whether those 6 people were injured by gunfire specifically?
Yes, of all of our victims, all of them were wounded in various degrees from gunfire. Thankfully, the other 6, 5 have been released. I'm not clear if the 6th is still in hospital, but was in stable and condition and recovering from their wounds.
Given that, and the fact we heard today 50 shots were fired into a crowd.
Yes.
Has part of the investigation so far, or has it been considered at all that this could be considered a mass shooting?
We believe, again, it was targeted. Now, obviously, numbers, when someone's so brazen to decide they're going to show up at a wedding or another area, and we've seen this before in Ottawa, and fire into an urban environment where people are gathered and not have care for where those bullets are going, then you're going to have, unfortunately, more people hit. A mass shooting from the perspective of what a definition may be, where people might think where a person intended to hit all those targets, I don't believe we have any evidence that would suggest that.
Hi, Liam Fox, the Canadian Press.
Yes.
Do police know what weapon was used in the attack?
We're collecting a great deal of evidence in order to protect the integrity of the investigation at this time. However, we're not going to release that information.
Okay. And police said, are you treating this as a gang-related attack? Have you identified it as that yet?
Well, we're most certainly considering it as, until you find out the motives, identify all people involved, again, for integrity investigation, but without question, we believe these are people who are involved, if you will, in the criminal elements within our society.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oui, pour une question en français. Oui, question en français. Est-ce que selon vous, les gens que vous dites qui possèdent de l'information qui ne sont pas venus vous voir pour la donner au complet, est-ce que c'est
According
parce
to you,
que
some people have
les
information that
familles
haven't
qui sont
come
impliquées dans le
forward?
mariage sont connues des milieux policiers pour être
Is that
impliquées soit
because
dans
the
des gangs de rue,
families
crimes
of the
organisés?
weddings might be known
C'est
in the
difficile de
area?
dire. Je sais pas
That's hard to say.
exactement la raison pour l'hésitance de venir.
I don't know exactly what the reason is for the hesitancy to come forward.
On a de la difficulté à parler avec
But
certains mondes qui ont
We
été
have
au mariage.
spoken with some
Est-ce que
people who
vous
were
attendez
at the
peut-être
weddings.
un contre-attaque ou une
Do you
réplique
think that there could be a counterattack or
C'est
retaliation?
difficile de dire. Non,
That's very
c'est pas
difficult to
quelque chose
say.
qu'on vise maintenant, mais
That's something that we're looking into.
Allô, Charles-Antoine Gagnon avec le poids. Est-ce que si les 8 personnes, 6 blessés, 2 décès, n'étaient pas ciblés, avez-vous été en mesure ou êtes-vous en mesure de peut-être savoir?
If those
si
8
ciblés,
victims were not the targets, is it
ça
possible to
fait
know
partie
who
de
was?
l'enquête, et puis c'est quelque chose
That's
que
part
nous
of the
sommes
investigation and something that we are in the process of
trouver avec
trying to find.
leur recherche et puis leur entrevue avec le monde.
And that is being done through
C'est quelque chose
searches
qu'on-
and
qu'on
interviews.
attend de savoir dans les
That's
jours
something
qui
that we hope to find out in the coming days.
Les décédés sont de Toronto. Jusqu'à combien
The
votre
two
enquête vous
deceased
amène à Toronto?
were from
On a
Toronto,
parlé avec la
so
police,
how much is your
le service de
investigation
police de
centered around
Et
Toronto?
puis, si nécessaire, nos enquêteurs vont.
If necessary,
voyager
our
dans-
investigators will
si-
travel
si-
to Toronto, to Toronto if it seems like a possibility.
Matthew from CBC. If you could just provide maybe a little bit more information on the victims. Obviously, we know the two men who died are from Toronto, but in terms of the other victims, and also it being a wedding,
Yes.
you have a whole range of ages, family members,
Yeah,
and so on.
no. So to be clear, there are two events going on in Infinity, two different weddings. One wedding was well underway within the confines, I believe, of the center.
All right, so we're getting an update now from police in the city of Ottawa on a
Still milling about. And like any wedding that you may attend, right, you're going to have families, you're going to have kids, people coming from out of town. We know people from Toronto. We have two individuals that were from Ohio as well that came from far away, as anybody's wedding would be. Family and friends come from long and far, and they were there to celebrate and be part of this, the festivities for these families. So it is quite tragic when someone decides to choose that location to carry out these type of crimes.
I just want to be totally clear.
Sure.
Are you-
We've been listening to Ottawa Police updating the media about a fatal shooting that took place last weekend where two of the people that were killed were from Toronto. 50 rounds were fired. 8 other people were injured.